So Jim Larrañaga looking on. Lenny, what are the keys to this game?
Well, obviously for George Mason, they need everyone. They're a five-man team on offense. Tony Skinn is back 13 points a game, but their bench only gave him 3 points against Michigan State. And Carolina just has to value the ball. 17 turnovers versus Murray State in the first round. That gave the Racers extra field goal attempts, and that helped them stay in the game.
And the Tar Heels have that look in their eyes, as if to say, we aren't messing around with you guys today. George Mason. Here's Lewis.
Again, a very animated defense for North Carolina, doubling Lewis down low and inviting Mason to take the three.
Rayshon Terry with the rebound. He had 9. Pull-up jump shot. No good. Lewis with the rebound. Terry, one of the great athletes on this team. Inside Norwood, left-hand runner. Short, batted around. Wes Miller. Here comes Miller. Hansbrough. Rising fire. Norwood comes the other way. Gabe Norwood, very good athlete, and his coaches say that he's just as talented as a guard as any other player in the country. He has to start believing it, and the Patriots throw it away.
And that was a miscommunication. Campbell expected Jai Lewis to roll to the basket, but you can't anticipate that stuff. You got to make sure that your man is there before you deliver the pass. Another turnover for George Mason.
Now Bobby Fraser to Miller. Miller is a gritty little player that can really shoot the ball. Inside, Hansbrough. Noel. And Tony Skinn, who just checked in, comes up with the rebound. And what a great story for Skinn. Learning experience for him this year. Lewis. Mason struggling from the field. They start the game 1 of 7. Noel again. This time he knocks it down. And North Carolina takes a 16-2 lead. Noel off to a terrific start, 7 points. Common opponent between these two teams. George Mason lost to Wake Forest in overtime, 83-78. North Carolina defeated Wake this season in conference play, 83-72. Tar Heels on an 11-0 run. Skinn. Four to shoot, straightaway 3. Off the glass and in. Oh, Tony Skinn.
Tony Skinn missed the first round game, obviously because of the suspension. But coming back into this ball game, pretty nice to hit that first shot, no matter how lucky it is.
He's a spark plug, averages 13 a game. Hansbrough short, and a foul coming up. And this will go against the Tar Heels. Back to Dayton after this.
Nothing is more powerful than the truth, and the truth is more Americans choose Chevy than any other brand.
See why during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Check out Chevy Cobalt LS with an EPA estimated 34 highway miles per gallon. Get a 2006 Cobalt LS Coupe with an MSRP starting at $12,990. Or get it for less during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. See your local Chevy dealer.
And the crowd goes wild.
Let's put your kids' dreams within reach. Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Shop today and you could instantly win a VIP trip to the 2007 NCAA Men's Final Four or one of millions of Lowe's prize cards.
Just sit right back and grab some tails, the tails of some tasty shrimp. Sensations now at Applebee's are really worth the trip. Sauteed, crisp fried, fire grilled, served on a handy skewer. So many shrimp you'll want to plan a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. So join us here this week, my friend. It's time for eating good. Shrimp sensations new at Applebee's in your neighborhood.
Think of the little ones. Life insurance, loans, retirement. AIG.
Tomorrow, Dave's all new with Denzel Washington. And later this week, don't miss Marcia Cross, David Spade, Sean Diddy Combs, and Daytona 500 winner Jimmy Johnson.
March Madness on demand is free. Get the first 3 rounds live on your computer. Sign up at ncaasports.com/MMOD.
You've heard all the strategy. You know exactly what we need to do. We need to execute the game plan. And I've got one very simple message for you. You got to understand this. Their fans think their players are supermen. Our fans know we're kryptonite.
And now, our Southwest Airlines sideline report. That was our Southwest Airlines sideline report.
Well, Jim Larinaga reaching to motivate. His kids like that. But right now, kryptonite's not working.
Inside, Frazier has it blocked. Hernandez in the game, throws it into the front court. Skin kicks it back to Butler. And don't forget, those of you expecting to see Northwestern State and West Virginia, will get you to that game shortly.
We had a chance right there to see the mobility of big Jai Lewis. Again, a wide body, very nimble feet, the ability to put it on the floor. These two teams actually, well, Carolina and George Mason, not exactly these two teams, but they face each other December 3rd. And George Mason absorbed a 34-point loss, 115-81. Tony Skinn, Jai Lewis played in that game. Jai Lewis actually had 17 points, and Rayshon Terry and Byron Saunders, the only Tar Heels who played in that game. That was Terry's first double-figure game as a collegiate. So they're not exactly strangers.
Here's Lewis inside, jump hook short, rebounded. Hernandez has it blocked. Hansbrough picked up the foul. He has one. 16-5. Here's Tyler from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Inside Noel, feeling it, banks it in. David Noel, the leader of this team, with 9 points. He's 3 of 4 from the field. Now Norwood turns the corner. Skinn fires. And it's knocked out of bounds. We'll head the other way.
Well, the front court of North Carolina really getting it done because they're playing with each other and running the floor. Tyler Hansbrough beats everybody down the floor, and then the favor gets returned to David Noel inside. And again, with these two guys pushing the ball up the floor, playing strong defense, you know, puts a lot of pressure on that back line of George Mason trying to match. Right now, Hansbrough out of the game.
North Carolina, 8 of 14 from the field. Their defense has been stellar. Mason, 2 of 12. Marcus Ginyard comes in. He's a freshman from Alexandria, Virginia. Step back jump shot off the heel.
And when Hansbrough's out of the game, Carolina's got to be very careful that they just don't settle for perimeter shots. Inside out, regardless of who gets it on the block, is still a more effective way to get quality perimeter shots.
Pick and roll, very effective. The high pick and roll for Murray State on Friday, but it looks like Coach Williams has schooled his Tar Heels very well today.
Well, you can expect people to jump out. The screen is set. The guy guarding the screen is going to jump out on top, try to force the ball handler wide. There's Noel right there. Force him wide and allow Terry to recover.
Backdoor, Skinn, nice catch, dumps it down, Hernandez, and he gets the roll.
Well, that's good ball movement. Again, George Mason starting to settle down. It looked as though they came in this game relatively tight, and when you're tight, you usually settle for the first easy shot you see.
Wes Miller rims out. Here come the Patriots.
And that first easy shot for George Mason was a three-point shot. They're 1 of 5 from 3.
Hernandez again. And this time he banks one home and draws the foul. Mason settling down a bit. Under 12 to go. Hernandez heading to the line. 18-9 Carolina.
was an awesome show.
Awesome.
Hey, would you mind?
No problem.
Me too. So, are you the bass player or the drummer?
I'm not in the band. I'm just here for the Bud Light. Whose pen? Johnny!
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Who's Todd Schischler?
Available features like 8-way power heated driver's seat, Bose premium sound system, and remote start with climate control. Introducing the all-new Impala. It's a whole new animal. Chevy Impala, an American revolution.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over, a precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual or battery power. New Gillette Fusion.
Wow, that guy that took the elbow says he's in bad shape.
He's better now.
The kid from State may go pro.
He decided not to.
So Tech is favored to win.
They didn't.
How do you know? This is today's news.
No, this is...
Fine, phone boy.
Singular MediaNet. Latest scores, breaking news, bracket challenge. If you've got Singular, you can personalize your phone for NCAA March Madness.
To get a 2-for-1 deal on radial tires in here.
Singular, raising the bar.
(18-9) North Carolina. Roy Williams, what a job he's done this season. Same situation with Coach Larinaga, and he should be considered as a candidate for Coach of the Year when you consider what the Tar Heels lost after winning the national championship last year.
Well, they lost their top 7 scorers, 91% of their points, 87% of the rebounds, 82% of the assists, and still ranked 10th and 12th in the respective polls. Here they are, a 3 seed. And even more importantly, you think that these are freshmen out here and these are babies relatively inexperienced. Against Murray State in the first round, Carolina's last 29 points were scored by 4 freshmen. Hansbrough, Green, Fraser, and Ginyard. So those guys obviously integral parts of this Carolina attack.
Terry to the basket, the runner short, and Lewis with the rebound. Here comes the speedster, Skin. George Mason, 4-14 from the field to start. They were tight at the beginning of this game, but they have settled down now.
Again, though, look like they're going a little too much east-west. Here they go back inside. This is where they start to have some success.
Lewis blocked by Noel. Miller the other way. Terry, rise and fire. Batted out, and Wes Miller tracks it down, but that's over and back, and we'll head the other way. CBS Sportsline is your destination for complete tournament coverage. Get bracket updates, video highlights, and expert analysis for each team in the NCAA tournament at cbssportsline.com. Carolina, 8 of 18. Mason, 4 of 15. Lewis, best athlete on this team. Do a little bit of everything, and he can't get the bounce. Slow start for Lewis.
Lewis getting some shots off the block. He's just got to persevere.
Noel again. And George Mason against Michigan State. The thing they did better than the Spartans that really paid off for them was rebounding. They out-rebounded Michigan State 40-24. Right now, the Patriots are out-rebounding Carolina 12-11.
And Carolina, of course, on offense is kind of settled in to shooting perimeter shots instead of inside-out ball movement against George Mason. George Mason, excellent defensive team that can shoot the ball. And Mason is here for a reason. 9th in the nation in field goal percentage defense, 13th in the nation in points allowed. Defense certainly can win championships, at least get you to the second round.
Thomas from Oakland, California. Inside, turnaround jump shot. Sanders too strong. Mason defense starting to tighten up now. Here's Skin pushing it. And he's cut off by Thomas. But on the baseline, that one goes down for Fowler and Campbell. And Fowler and Campbell is coming off 21-point game, tying his career high. He was 8 of 8 from the field against the Spartans of Michigan State. So let's take a quick look at our game summary.
Well, Carolina obviously shooting a better field goal percentage because they're willing to get the ball inside and attack the glass up until the last couple of possessions. And George Mason's starting to feel a little more comfortable. Those 3 turnovers obviously have hurt them a little bit. But in the end, I think George Mason a little bit tight to begin the game. They're starting to settle into playing pretty good defense. And without Tyler Hansbrough, who is back in the ball game, Carolina in the last several possessions got a little lazy offensively.
So subs come in the game for North Carolina. Hansbrough, Bobby Frazier, Ginyard, and Danny Green. Noel also there as the Patriots get into a zone. Skip pass, Green lets it go.
Well, Danny Green is coming of age right here in the NCAA tournament. 15 big points yesterday, comes off the bench firing today. And with his athleticism, his confidence, he is an awfully dangerous guy. Very tough matchup for George Mason.
Was 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. Danny Green, Campbell, extra pass, Butler rejected. Noel says, get it out of here with 13 on the shot clock.
Again, we talked about the aggressive defensive team will have the advantage, and David Noel closed very quickly, and he closed with his hands up in the air, so he wouldn't necessarily leave the ground in the event of a ball fake.
Now Lewis, along with Campbell, Skin, Will Thomas, inside, nice play, Thomas.
And again, settling down, Will Thomas, first 2 attempts, kind of rushed them and missed point-blank layups. That time he took more patience.
And Noel throws it out of bounds. 8:28 to play in the first half, 21-14 Carolina. And let's take a closer look at the Tar Heels.
Well, North Carolina, again, among the leaders in the ACC in assists, youthful experience. We talked about last night. The last 29 points was scored by 4 freshmen, the last game, I should say, and Pride. These are the defending national champions. Got a couple of holdovers from that team, but more than anything else, the young men that wear the Carolina blue recognize the legacy.
Now Skin. Cut off by Ginyard, stripped by Ginyard, but Skin picks it up, peels it back. 10 to shoot for the Patriots. Crossover, Skin with a bucket, beautiful. And after trailing by as many as 14, George Mason right back in this game, 21-16.
And the reason is they settled down offensively, gotten the jitters out, and defensively they've settled in. 2-3 zone seems to be working.
And Murray State, similar success. Now Skin in transition on the hop, rejected Green. And Danny Green has become very good at blocking shots. Averaged 4 as a high school senior. But right now we have a 21-16 game.
America's brand salutes college basketball's best. The all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe.
Paying what? $8 for takeout from a casual dining place?
Mom, it's a $4 meal from KFC. Half the price.
So if you're saving so much money, how come you haven't moved out yet?
Get all the quality of a casual dining meal for half the price. Choose between a strip meal, a two-piece meal, or a breast meal, each with 2 delicious home-style sides and a freshly baked biscuit for just $4. Your dollar goes further at KFC.
Investing is about knowing the waters and where the real risks are. At T. Rowe Price, we navigate the market with discipline, relying on experience and our own independent research. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, 70% of our funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Good news. I got promoted.
Better news. They got DirecTV.
My new office has a clear view for miles.
My DirecTV has 155 crystal clear channels.
I have a $1,700 expense account.
I have over 1,700 movies every month.
I meet with the CEO every Friday.
I meet the Fockers whenever I want.
I just got an assistant.
I just got 3 months of HBO, Starz, Showtime, and Cinemax for free.
Can you give me the number for DirecTV?
No.
I don't think she heard me.
Get over 155 channels for $29.99 a month. That's half the price of cable. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Sexier, edgier, unrated.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
When you can't go to the law, you go to the streets.
Gotcha, back.
Clive Owen, Jennifer Aniston, RZA, Exhibit.
It stops here.
Derailed by the unrated DVD on Tuesday.
Enterprise rental car for the game.
Yeah, they pick us up. Free.
Free pickup. They ought to be #1.
They are #1.
So if Enterprise is #1, why don't they have these?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
North Carolina has led this game by as many as 14, but Mason starting to find their rhythm. 21-16 the score. Gus Johnson, Len Elmore. 3 versus 11. George Mason advancing to the second round by defeating Michigan State. The University of North Carolina defeated Murray State. Mason in green with the ball. Butler fires. Ginyard with the rebound.
Carolina loves to push it up tempo, run with a purpose. You don't have numbers, you back it out, try your secondary break. That time on the penetration, passed a little too hard by Ginyard. Hansbrough couldn't handle it, and Roy Williams obviously kind of upset with his team. I mentioned before, turnovers, value the ball, so important for Carolina.
3 turnovers for North Carolina. Mason also with 3. Campbell, Skin so happy to be back on the floor after serving his suspension in the first round. Lets it fly. Hansbrough pulls it down. And North Carolina, Lenny, got into trouble against Murray State when they went away from Tyler Hansbrough.
Well, sometimes when Roy Williams takes Hansbrough out of the game, you know, there's no one left to become a real successful inside threat.
6:27 to play in the first half, 21-16. North Carolina. Tar Heels led at one time by 16, but the Patriots out of the CAA managed to find themselves and are back in this game. Hansbrough knocks the ball away. The talented freshman. But Mason will give it up. Coming up on Singular at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis will take you out for a live look at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament. And they will get you caught up on all the latest tournament news, plus a Singular Naismith update. That's all coming up on Singular at the half.
And Gus, to finish answering your question, why Carolina sometimes goes away from Hansbrough, as I mentioned, when Hansbrough comes out of the game, not really a formidable threat down on the block. And what happens is when he comes back in the game, it's almost as though his teammates are still in a flow without him. And it takes him a while to adjust. Unless Roy Williams calls a play on the bench, it takes him a while to adjust to the fact that Hansbrough's in the game.
Terry forced it up, gets his own rebound. No call, loose ball, now a foul. And it will go against George Mason. Hansbrough is fighting for it. Mason on a 10-2 run in the last 6:15.
And again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they settle down, able to get better shots, cover the board, and defensively they go to the 2-3 zone, which is really forced Carolina to think. It's cut down on their ability to run in transition because the zone gets back so quickly. And Carolina's got to pass the ball and move the ball to find some open shots.
Zone effective so far for the Patriots. Miller, Danny Green from deep. Long rebound picked up by Miller.
Well, Danny Green doesn't have to look far to get his shots, though.
Miller short. Skin on the move, and he's cut off by Frazier.
Oh, nice job of Carolina getting back. 3 shirts in the paint as Skin tried to make his move.
Carolina cooling down now after a furious beginning. As we approach the 5-minute mark of the first half. Lewis, no success so far, no points. That one way off the mark. Wes Miller in the corner. Short again. Ajay Lewis takes it down. Thomas, he's got Skin on the wing. Finds a cutting Norwood. Skin, great ball fake, lets it go. Both teams struggling. Mason 7 of 26. Carolina 9 of 27. Here's the big man. Gets his own rebound. Get out of my way. Give me the ball. 4:23 to go.
And guess what happens when Hansbrough releases the ball on his shot? Everybody turns to get the rebound. No one puts a body on Hansbrough.
Very quick jumper when that ball goes up. Tyler Hansbrough. McDonald's All-America. 14 20-point games this season. That's a North Carolina freshman record. Inside Lewis. And a whistle and foul underneath. 3:59 to play first half. North Carolina with the lead. The talented freshman going to work. Back after this.
Take. He's got it.
Yes! Yes! Hey, let's order a pizza. Make it a thin crust.
You got it.
Hello?
Yeah, we'd like a large thin crust pizza.
Ralph?
Exactly. And you know what? Make it the way I like it. Loaded with mozzarella and toppings.
You know I hate when you do this.
Wonderful. And another thing, make it snappy because we're starving, right, boys?
Ralph.
Chop, chop.
For fresh baked pizza today, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Hey, great pizza, Ralph. Who delivered?
That'd be me.
What are you setting your sights on? And when you see it, will you be ready? All you have to do is pick up the phone and call in your coordinates. Before you know it, you'll have this free DVD in your hands. You'll learn about the hundreds of opportunities the Army can offer you. Skills, education, healthcare. Call right now, and you'll also get this free boonie hat. Whatever you're looking for, the Army can help you find it.
The thrill of white-knuckle driving obviously came from someone with white knuckles.
Great day, let's bring her in.
Formula One-inspired Michelin Pilot Series high-performance tires.
Or not.
Turn your performance car into a 12-month machine. Michelin Pilot Exalto all-season tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
If you think your kids are ever going to stop asking you for money, you are getting old. Look into retirement savings from the AIG companies. Retirement, loans, insurance. AIG.
And now, the Senior Class Award, presented by Lowe's. Standing almost 7 feet tall, West Virginia's Kevin Pittsnoggle hits the books as well as he hits the boards, graduating in just 3.5 years. For more on all the Senior Class Award finalists, log on to cbssportsline.com/seniorclass.
The big story surrounding George Mason during this NCAA tournament has been Tony Skinn. He was suspended after punching a Hofstra player during the CAA tournament. His teammates had to pick him up, and as they started to pull away against Michigan State, he started off cool at the beginning and then exploded in the closing moments of the game, knowing that he would get another opportunity to play. And Coach Jim Larinaga saying that he wasn't punishing Tony Skinn, he was disciplining him because he had to realize that there are certain lines you can't cross. Tony Skinn served his suspension and now is back on the floor. Lesson learned. 23-16, Carolina. Hernandez back in the game inside. Nice move. Thomas lays it up with the left hand.
Well, that's 4 points for Will Thomas. Significant between he and Jai Lewis. Only those 4 points. That's the kind of production that they need from Thomas, and they need to get Jai Lewis involved.
Win an NCAA-related prize every 35 seconds at mycokerewards.com/NCAA. Gus Johnson, Len Elmore. 3:30 to play first half. Carolina up 23-18 after leading by 14. Mason on a 16-7 run. Inside Hansbrough. Jump hook. Got it.
Tyler Hansbrough, as you saw from that shot, really takes contact well. The left side of his body absorbs the contact almost like a sponge and allows his right hand to loft that soft shot into the basket.
He has 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Campbell, nice catch. Almost stripped by Noel as he draws a double.
See, Thomas has got to get the ball out of the double quickly and let him reverse it.
Skinn. Good defense by Terry. Carolina on the move. Skip pass, reversal, Hansbrough. That's where you want it. Rejected by Norwood, though. Picked up Thomas. Here come the Patriots. Skinn has Norwood. Almost lost it.
Boy, Tony Skinn just looks totally out of rhythm, totally out of sync. Missing that game Friday night obviously has had an impact on him as well as his emotions. But you take a look right here. Gabe Norwood, excellent athlete. He comes and he kind of sneaks Tyler Hansbrough from the weak side.
And as you mentioned, while we were talking before the game, both of these teams received a practice game in a sense for each other in the first round.
Well, absolutely. George Mason, Carolina is much like Michigan State, up-tempo, dominant big guy, athletes in transition. And George Mason for Carolina, very much like Murray State, quick and soft dribble, love the three, and solid defenders. So each had a primer in guarding the other in their first round games.
Norwood, now Butler. 6 to shoot. Butler has to hurry up. Lets it go from deep. Hernandez with the rebound. Shot clock resets. Hernandez inside, and he can't get it to fall.
There was some confusion on whether the ball touched the rim or not, but it did graze the rim ever so slightly.
Inside Hansbrough, jams it, and a whistle on the floor. Basket won't count. And the foul called on Norwood. Now the winner of this game will take on Wichita State. Wichita State in Washington, D.C. The Shockers shocking Tennessee, knocking off a 2 yesterday. As Lewis comes in for Larinaga.
And when you look at that Wichita State team, never underestimate the power of senior urgency. You know, guys out there recognizing that they don't want this ride to end, and the seniors coming through.
Wes Miller, deep 3.
Carolina really having success on the weak side, rebounding against the 2-3 zone. Mason bringing a lot of people to the strong side and forgetting about blocking off.
Noel with 11 points in the first half. Here's Lewis. Draws a triple team. Got his man in the air and banks it home. 7-point lead for Carolina. Hansbrough And a reach-in foul called against Jai Lewis.
Well, again, you see the ball moves. Miller takes the shot, and they're on the weak side. Just one guy, Gabe Norwood, by himself on the weak side. No one else to block off that board. And when you're playing against the zone, when the ball's taken from one end, that's where you want to be, on that opposite side corner of the backboard, because that's where most of the misses will come.
So Lewis picks up the foul, and that's his first.
Again, very good patience by Carolina right here, and they have been going to Hansbrough as often as they can last several possessions. He's created some nice inside-out opportunities.
Backdoor, Terry can't hold on. Butler into the front court to Skin. Skin forced it up. No. Norwood saves it, and Wes Miller just takes it away. Shot clock turned off. Game clock at 17, and Coach Williams calls a timeout. 27-20, Tar Heels.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, you get unlimited calls to anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, and all the cool features you could ever want are included. And it's just $24.99 a month.
Call 1-800-399-1355 and get your first month free. This offer is also available online and at these fine retailers.
Vonage, leading the internet phone revolution.
Closing moments of the first half. Carolina up by 7.
Well, Carolina obviously adjusting to the 2-3 zone and getting it in that Tyler Hansbrough. And when they can't get it in, they at least look at him, force the defense to kind of crowd Hansbrough. Some open shots, weak side offensive rebounding opportunities, and Carolina's making the most out of it. You see Tyler Hansbrough right there, very effective, 4 of 9 from the field.
Frazier, the inbounder. Terry, Hansbrough, Miller, Noel. Frazier with 5 to go. And he fired. And that is it. David Noel, the leader for North Carolina, 11 points in the first half. Tar Heels lead by 7. We'll send you to Greg Gumbel with Singular at the half after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports on our 25th Road to the Final Four.
All he ever wanted was to make his dad proud.
I gotta do something great so my dad doesn't think I'm such a loser.
In 2 days, he's about to get his chance.
We've got a planet to save.
Disney's #1 animated movie.
That's my boy!
Chicken Little on Disney DVD this Tuesday.
Class of '94. Here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Well, higher, baby. Higher, baby. Come on, higher.
Catch all the action on the King of Queens, CBS Monday.
Pro athletes with attention deficit disorder. Why it's a bigger problem than you may think. Monday. See why more people are watching the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
2.5 Men. Monday on CBS. America's most watched network.
This is not Blue. This is Coach K. Leitner shot in an indoor stadium packed with crazies. No, this is much better than Blue. ESPNU, available from DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV to order.
Because my friends and I have in, even when I travel on business, we stay in touch.
Hey, Schmitty.
With unlimited calls, text, and picture messaging, it's easy.
My name's Schmitty. I have a job. My boss is a...
Really easy.
Get in on the Verizon Wireless Network, and now you'll get unlimited in-calling plus unlimited in-text and pics for just $10 a month. Get started with an LG 5200 and get a second one free. Verizon Wireless. It's the in-network.
The signs are everywhere. It's Toyota's premier event. While you're there, check out the Toyota trucks with great deals going on now. Get your engine running with the Toyota Tacoma, the best-selling compact pickup in America. or save big on the Tundra Double Cab. Now with available cash back and the XSP Sport Package discount, get $4,000 in total savings on the 06 Tundra Double Cab. Toyota's premier event is on. Don't miss it. Toyota, moving forward.
This is not blue. This is the Dean Worthy in number 23. This is how the game is meant to be played. No, this is no ordinary blue. ESPNU, available from DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV to order.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, raising the bar.
Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to our studios here in New York for Singular at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis. And we're at halftime of the game between North Carolina and George Mason. The Tar Heels leading it by a score of 27-20. We'll be taking you to the game in Dallas between Bucknell and Memphis as soon as they come out of a timeout. However, let's run down the scoreboard. Kentucky and UConn.
And this is Rashad Anderson going to get it inside to the freshman. Jeff Adrian put him up at 8. I got to tell you, this is not the same UConn, that team that struggled against Albany. That's Rashad Anderson for the three-pointer. And then Rudy Gay going to dribble. He's going to put up and hit the jumper. That put UConn up by 7. Marcus Williams to Rashad Anderson, who did not score a point against Albany, but he has 14 points right now. He's been solid.
And we'll be taking you there as well. They are in a timeout in that game. Earlier today at the Palace of Auburn Hills, Bradley and Pitt. Clark.
Tony Bennett going to find Zach Andrews and watch the young fella rise and throw it down with power. 8-2. Bradley controlled this one from start to finish. Lawrence Wright going to find Patrick O'Brien, who had a career-high 28. 2 of them right there. The Braves by 12. Tony Bennett show him the ball. Paratroopers Club off the window. And Bradley in full control. Here's Patrick O'Brien again. The big fella was dominant at both ends.
So the Bradley Braves win it. They move on to play the winner of the Memphis-Bucknell matchup. Speaking of that game, this is the game taking place right now in Dallas. Seth?
Bucknell got up to a pretty good start. Chris McNaughton's going to kick it out to Kevin Betancourt. That put Bucknell up by 6, but it's been all Memphis since then. Robert Dozier drives and feeds it to Kareem Cooper. The freshman lays it in. That cut Bucknell's lead to 4 off the inbounds. Darren Mastropolo ahead to Donald Brown at the other end of the court. And then Memphis comes right back. Andre Allen to Rodney Carney. That's what I call elevating, putting Memphis up by 9. And then Joaquin Williams kicks it out again to Andre Allen. He was so good in their first-round win, knocking down the 3. Memphis in control.
They're in the final minute of the first half, and Memphis is leading that one by a score of 31-21 at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Just under 12 minutes to play in the first half. West Virginia with a 15-7 lead on the 14th seed Demons of Northwestern State. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, UConn with a 33-26 lead on the Kentucky Wildcats. They are under 4 minutes to play. Let's go there live. Jim Nance and Billy Packer.
UConn ball, and Jim Calhoun took the timeout, did not wait for the under 4 television break because his team is starting to let it slip away. 6 quick points by Kentucky.
And look at who's in the game. Hilton Armstrong's back in the ball game. Williams takes it to hoop. He's got that little glide. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Wow, that's going to be
that ball might have been technically, the referee is going to be able to stand on the fact that it was technically inside the cylinder, but it had to be 1/8 of the ball.
Morris just thought he had a clean rebound.
Let's take a look at this, and I thought he did too. Oh, man.
Wow. They'll give the basket to Connecticut. Timeout on the floor in Philadelphia.
This is what it's like when you're looking for a car on Autotrader.com. It's like being able to see almost 3 million cars. A lot more than you'll find anywhere else. That's why Autotrader.com is the ultimate automotive marketplace. Find the car that's right for you at Autotrader.com, the smarter place to buy and sell a car.
Big bucking chicken, you are big, you are chicken. Big bucking chicken.
Take a ride on the new BK Tender Crisp Cheesy Bacon. The only way to beat it
is to eat it. Bucking chicken.
Looking for great prices on thousands of DVDs? Circuit City makes it simple. Starting Tuesday, you can take home Chicken Little at an unbeatable price. Plus, pick up Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit for just $13.99 at Circuit City.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet Specials, fly to 61 destinations for just $49 to $159.
On a good day, I would barely make a splash. Now, I hope for as much impact as possible.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Singular salutes 1998 Naismith Trophy winner Antoine Jameson. Now, text PLAY to 87654 for a chance to take the court with Naismith greats at the Final Four and take a shot at $5 million.
Well, the biggest difference here, Billy, is the 20-0 bulge here for Connecticut off the bench. And that last basket interference, watch the sphere now. Is it any part of it over the rim?
If any portion of that ball is in that cylinder, that ball then, and well, you know, technically the official is on the mark. He can make a case for himself. I don't think the ball had any chance to go back in, but technically the official was right. Awful close.
Big Kentucky lineup. The lean over to Morris. He had to travel. He did.
Well, it is very difficult with all of those bodies in there. Randolph Morris has to recognize if Aline's going to give him that ball, he's going to catch and go right up to the basket. There's not going to be any time to gather yourself. That's a pretty difficult combination. Aline with that look that he has that high up. Kentucky matching up again. In 1-2-2 zone. You've got Morris and Aline in the back. A lot of talking, which is necessary in a matchup zone. Kentucky's done a pretty good job.
Anderson will square it up.
Nice job.
Wide of the mark off the back of the rim from the corner. Sparks with a three, and Kentucky has the three-point basket.
Great follow through, and here again, it's amazing how often been able to throw the ball, and that's going to be an intentional foul on Sparks. But there's no way Sparks makes the three. Bradley's got to get back on that shot. Stop Dave from going to length of the court. No question that that was an intentional foul.
And the first on Sparks. He had just made the first triple of the day for Kentucky. First out of 9, but they'll have Gay at the line for free throws, and UConn will inbound.
And Sparks has to realize he had no chance on that play. We saw Gay finish one off earlier in the ball game. So if you're Sparks, you have no way to go up there. Just let him have the shot. As I just said, Jim, 2+ possession here.
Rudy Gay, the first team All-Big East sophomore from Baltimore. And I'll tell you, you saw a more focused UConn team on the floor at the very start, but Coach Calhoun had some rather hard remarks about his team after that performance against Albany, and some of them aimed, in fact, at Rudy Gay. Looks like this team listened in, got the message.
There's Aline again, big target inside.
Working on Armstrong, and just too strong with a little shot.
Kentucky does a much better job getting back on defense that time. Good.
Boy, Sparks put his hands up, got the steal, and forced the foul on Marcus Williams.
That was a terrific job by Kentucky getting back on defense, and it paid off for him. Jim, this is Sparks' 4th NCAA tournament. You know, we forget about the 2 years he played at Western Kentucky.
Yep.
So, you know, a real veteran. His birthday was on Friday night. So this guy is a veteran of NCAA tournament play. And played extremely well at Western Kentucky in the NCAA tournament.
Yes, he did. And you go back to his days with the Hilltoppers, he's got a consecutive start streak now that's approaching 120 with his 2 careers at Western and with the Wildcats. Short on the 3 and over the back, UConn ball.
As the way things were going for Kentucky, getting that ball inside and then kicking out, Bradley would have been smart to continue with that pattern. Kentucky has been successful with it.
Watch this kid now inbounding the ball. The freshman guard for the Huskies, Austrie, who's out of Stamford, Connecticut. It was interesting when we visited with Calhoun after the win against Albany. He gave a lot of the credit to Austrie for the victory.
Well, I give a lot of credit to Jim Calhoun for finally coming up in that game with a combination on the floor that would work. And he played both guards, Williams and Austrie, and that really got him back in there. But it's amazing that we're even talking about it.
They talk about his defensive play.
This strategy to beat Albany.
Yep. Everybody would be saying it. Brown.
Two men on him, fadeaway jump shot, and still buries it.
Within a few days of March, you go back the last 4 regular season games for Denham Brown when he heard the call for crunch time and the end of his college career. Denham Brown has just taken it up, not just a notch, maybe a couple of notches. He has been outstanding. Carey gets Gay to commit, steps up, and Gay with the rebound. Brown's breaking early, and there he is, scoring 2 more.
Good job by Gay. He knew Brown could finish. Terrific hit-ahead pass.
Under a minute to play in the half, and UConn by a dozen.
They're in the final minute of play. The winner of that game moves on to play the Washington Huskies. UConn leading at 41-29. Thanks for joining us on Singular at the Half. We'll send you back to Dayton for the second half of your game in just a moment.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, raising the bar.
Hey, it's... Your call dropped again, didn't it? Nope, just calling my brother to say, hey, it's... I thought you were calling him about the game. No, just wanted to say, hey, it's... There's a lot between my brother and me, so my tone on those words, hey, it's, really expresses everything I need to say to him.
Tired of dropped calls? Switch to Singular. Singular's all-over network has the fewest dropped calls of any wireless network. The leading independent research company proved it.
Hey, it's me. I'm here with...
Singular, raising the bar.
Fred. Yeah? The printer's down.
Can you help?
I can try, but I'm gonna need complete silence. So much pain. So much pain. There.
Is it fixed?
No, it's fried. But I'll get a new one from CDW tomorrow.
Nobody responds like CDW. With fast shipping on top brand technology, you get what you need when you need it. CDW, the right technology, right away.
Hey, Fred, can you take a look at my wires? I'll need complete silence.
Your life will change. Widows will go on. A gifted child will need an exceptional education. And 4 friends will become 4 tycoons. At these moments, our expertise in retirement strategies and managing debt makes us valuable, but our understanding of you makes us essential. So as Merrill Lynch Financial Advisors, we can help you achieve peace of mind in here and achieve life out there.
Total living, total Merrill.
Since 1989, Coca-Cola has provided more than $35 million in college scholarships. And as the NCAA's first corporate champion, Coca-Cola proudly supports 88 NCAA championships in 23 sports for 360,000 student athletes every year. Satisfying a thirst for learning, both in the classroom and on the field. The Coca-Cola Company and the NCAA.
Jump in and buckle up with the teams of the Amazing Race.
Let's see how fast you are.
And speed around Germany's world-famous test track. A new Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
There it is, a win for the ages.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
After leading by as many as 14 in the first half, North Carolina now leads George Mason by 7. CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament will continue, but first, Len, your keys in the first half.
Well, Carolina's been able to build that lead by going to Tyler Hansbrough when they have, whether it's off the offensive glass or straight post entry passes. They've been very successful. He and David Noel, 9 of 16, combined 19 points. On the other side of it, though, we talked about George Mason needing everybody. Will Thomas, Jai Lewis, only 3 of 11 combined from the field and only 6 points combined, so they aren't getting the guys that they need.
27-20, North Carolina with the lead. CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Hi. We're here for the Taste Revolution.
Great. Excellent. Let's put you right there. Come along. Excellent. Excellent. A Taste Revolution is brewing.
You want a good breakfast and a good price? At Denny's, everything's good. Denny's new Pepper Jack and Smoked Sausage Scramble has peppers, onions, and cheese, plus bacon, sausage, and pancakes. One of 3 new scrambled sensations for just $5.99. You gotta come to Denny's.
CSI Miami, Monday on CBS, America's most watched network.
Who knew that 8 pounds, 4 ounces could take up so much space? You moved the computer into the laundry room and a new minivan into the garage. Maybe you need to expand about 600 square feet. Maybe you need more than just an expansion. Banking, insurance, investments. BB&T. There's opportunity here.
Looks like everybody's after McDonald's double Filet-O-Fish sandwich. Catch one with fries and an icy cold Coke today and play the Sharkbait game at filetoffish.com.
This is March Madness on wheels. It starts with the Pontiac G6, bringing more power than Mazda 6, delivering better fuel economy than Nissan Altima, offering features the Volkswagen Jetta can't.
If you want it, you can check my stats. Lights out.
Google Pontiac and check the stats for yourself.
Now use your auto show bonus and lease a Pontiac G6 sedan starting around $199 a month. Call for details. See ncpontiacdealers.com.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, CDW, Mazda, and by Miller.
(27-20) Carolina with the lead at halftime. Gus Johnson, Len Elmore. Mason had to adjust in the first half.
Well, they certainly did. They went to the 2-3 zone, but they've got to be able to cover that weak side board. 7 offensive rebounds by Carolina. Take a look. Both teams not shooting the ball very well. George Mason relies on the 3, not getting it 10%. And in the end, if they're going to continue to play the 2-3 zone, they've got to make sure they cover the weak side board. Carolina, 7 offensive rebounds, as I mentioned. 6 points off of those, but also it gives them second chance opportunities. And really, that's the difference in the ball game, those 6 points off of the 7 offensive rebounds.
27-20 the score, and this is the lowest scoring first half combined for these teams this season. As Mason hits the floor, sending out Norwood, Butler, along with Will Thomas, Lewis, and Fowler and Campbell. Carolina has the ball to start the second half, up by 7. Bobby Fraser in the backcourt, Terry, Wes Miller, Noel, and Tyler Hansbrough.
George Mason, we talked about the 2-3 zone they played in the first half, come out here in man-to-man, extended man-to-man trapping. And at the beginning of the telecast, we talked about the team that extends and can force some turnovers can win this ball game.
Hansbrough inside, has it knocked away, picked up on the baseline by Campbell. Carolina led by 14 in the first half. Butler reverse layup goes down. He has 4 points, and in the first meeting between these teams in 2003, Butler from Oxon Hill, Maryland, broke his foot in the first 3 minutes of the game as Noel throws it away, intended for Terry. 6 turnovers for Carolina.
Well, George Mason not getting the production that they did in the first-round game from their 2 big guys. As I mentioned before, both of them are combined 3 of 11 from the field, only 6 points. George Mason's got to have both Thomas and Jai Lewis involved offensively to put pressure on that Carolina defense.
Here's Lewis rolling in the basket. Beautifully done. Good call, partner.
Right on time.
Now Lewis, 2 of 7 from the field, 4 points. And a kick ball. Vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of this round. Nearly $150,000 of scholarship contributions on the line. Vote now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac. North Carolina a 3. George Mason and 11.
And again, you see Carolina looking inside, making a concerted effort to get the ball at least in Hansbrough's hands. And Tyler has to respond rather than turn it over.
Hansbrough with 8 points in the first half, 4 of 9 shooting, 6 rebounds. Carolina has now turned it over 7 times.
And that was one of the keys for Carolina. They've got to value the ball. You can't afford to turn it over against an opportunistic team like George Mason, the underdog that feels as though they have nothing to lose.
Lewis wheeling on the baseline, out of bounds. 5 turnovers for the Patriots. Jim Larinaga, 10 years as the head coach at Bowling Green here in the state of Ohio. Ball deflected. Lewis, great hands. Look at him bring it up the floor. Nice pass. And Norwood banks it home. Patriots within 1.
And again, George Mason out of that zone, extended D, looking to double the ball when he goes to the side.
And another steal. Campbell. Mason with the lead. They were shaky to start. Different story at the beginning of the second half. George Mason counterpunching with a 1-point lead.
Great, another Mazda sales event.
With a killer lease on Mazda 3. That thing stomped my Civic.
And it's got more power and room than Civic, Sentra, and Corolla.
Are we the only ones worried about all this?
Apparently not.
Ach du Lieber. What did he say?
It's the biggest Mazda's on the Move sales event yet. Lease a 2006 Mazda 3i for $189 a month for 39 months with $23.89 to at lease signing. Just $189 a month. Hurry to your Mazda dealer for a test drive now.
Hot dogs and soda at the game, $16. Movie tickets and a popcorn, $22. Mints and a diet soda, $3.25. The new trick at the checkout line, priceless. For a whole new way to pay, MasterCard introduces PayPass. Amazingly faster and safer than cash.
Degree for men. 3 times the protection for men who take risks.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
So who do you like in the tournament?
Let's see, I like the Hoosiers, the Hoyas, Gonzagas, Marymounts, Jumbos, Titans, Wahoos.
So you're really only rooting for teams that sound like women's breasts?
Totally.
A new How I Met Your Mother, CBS Monday after The King of Queens.
Get your degree in madness at CSTV.
Jim Larinaga's Patriots have taken a 1-point lead after trailing by as many as 14, and Roy Williams wasn't happy when he called the timeout. His team didn't come out ready to play. Coach Larenega's trap causing some confusion for Carolina.
Well, you saw right there, 5 possessions in this half, 5 turnovers for Carolina. And if I'm Roy Williams, I'd be screaming at these guys too. That is not the way you want to start a half. And again, against a team that's one of the top defensive teams in the nation. 9th in field goal percentage D and 13th in points allowed.
There's that trap again. Hansbrough to Noel, and he dribbled it out of bounds.
All right, we got 6 turnovers and 6 possessions. And Roy Williams now has the scream encouragement. You know, you tear your team down, but at some point you got to build them up. And I think Roy recognizes this is that point.
Lewis slipping in a basket, call for an offensive foul. Terrific job by Hansbrough. And Hansbrough with some words for Noel. Let's go. The winner of this game will take on Wichita State, who upset Tennessee, knocking off the second-seeded Volunteers. How do you beat this trap, Lenny?
Well, you need somebody who can do just what Bobby Fraser did, beat the top line off the bounce, force that back line to step up, and the wings to contract to help. And you wind up kicking to somebody for a jump shot. You got to be able to do that, get them out of that trap.
Rayshon Terry posing for a picture after hitting that jump shot. Roy Williams almost jumped onto the court to get him in position.
But they missed the back door by Norwood, had beaten his man on the baseline.
Butler, 6 to shoot. Butler, quick little guard, gets to the rack. We're tied at 30.
Well, that's the athleticism of George Mason. Now they're in the game. Now they're playing with a great deal of confidence. It's bad news for North Carolina.
Jim Larenega said that the North Carolina fans think their guys are supermen, but we know that we're kryptonite. Here comes Campbell. And a blocking foul called against Fraser. And watch Roy Williams after Rayshon Terry posed for a picture after hitting this shot.
Teams first. Well, I tell you what, at this point, at this time, as important as this game is, to lose focus for that is unbelievable.
Following Campbell at the line for George Mason, shooting 2.
Unbelievable.
Rayshon Terry, though, so talented, 6'8" junior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Campbell hits the first. Critics say the new adventures of Old Christine is laugh out loud funny. Julia Louis-Dreyfus stars in the #1 new hit comedy right after a new 2.5 Men tomorrow on CBS, America's #1 network. Mason by 2.
And Gus Danny Green came in for Rayshon Terry. Roy Williams didn't even glance at Terry as he walked back onto the bench.
Hansbrough double team, splits the D. Gets to the bucket, lost it. Lewis is hurt. The big fella hobbling up the floor. And a timeout call by Mason. Campbell hitting the deck. Now Hansbrough falls. It's getting a little rough out there. Mason by 2.
Since you haven't had an accident for over 3 years, I got you a great discount. Okay. And I even got you a discount for having your airbags.
Booyah!
And because you have your renter's insurance with us, you save even more. Now you're covered, so to speak.
Oh, baby, Yankee! Buy me. Oh! We good.
Join our 40 million fans as State Farm salutes NCAA March Madness. Call an agent today.
Upset City in this year's NCAA tournament. In the first round, Northwestern State beat Iowa. Bradley beat Kansas. Then Bradley did it today again at the bottom of your screen, knocking off Pittsburgh today. Wichita State shocking Tennessee, and Washington over Illinois. And what do we have here? Can Coach Jim Larenega's Patriots knock off the third-seeded Tar Heels from North Carolina?
We mentioned early that George Mason is not awed with Carolina. Back in December of '03, they met Carolina. Lewis, Skin, Butler were on that team. George Mason observed a 34-point loss. I think those guys remember it.
Foul coming up on Hansbrough, his second 2-point game. Back after this.
At
At GMC, we seek out the world's greatest engineering innovations and put them to use. Introducing the all-new 2007 GMC Yukon. With more power, greater fuel efficiency, and details crafted with exacting precision. It's engineering beyond the drawing board. GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade.
I wasn't sure about this whole 5-minute date thing, but I feel like we have a connection.
I feel it too.
Maybe we should go on a real date.
I don't know about that.
Well, why?
It would upset my fiance, probably.
You're not single.
Oh no, I'm just here for the Bud Light. What am I supposed to say? Hi, honey, I'm dating Amy. Not cool.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Good, sir. Hey, sweetie.
Excuse me, do you believe your brokerage firm's advice is objective?
Sure. Their objective is to sell me something.
Well, he only calls me when he's got something to sell.
I made it my objective to do my own investing. So I switched to TD Waterhouse. Best move I ever made.
TD Waterhouse brings together free, independent research and third-party reports so you can make your own objective decisions. You can do this. Switch today to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers.
Well, there was one year where I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I used the cheaper brands, but I didn't have the color that I wanted, and I did have the weeds. Look how thick it is. Look at the color of it. There are no weeds. I take the credit instead of Scott's. I call it Luby Lawn. I'm very proud of the results that I get from Scott's. And there will be no crabgrass.
Break it, drizzle it, dunk it, crave it. Lobster Fest is back. Taste new combinations like succulent Maine and rock lobster tails or irresistible lobster with snow crab, only at Red Lobster.
If you were going to be with one of my friends, who would it be?
Introducing new high-endurance hair and body wash from Old Spice.
Tell me, I'm not going to be mad. I'm just curious.
The easiest way to get clean from head to toe. Don't you wish everything was this easy?
And a look at the tournament summary, your former conference, the ACC, perfect so far.
Well, I mean, they've got some powerhouse teams. North Carolina right now in a battle, but how about the Missouri Valley Conference?
George Mason trailed by as much as 14 in the first half. They're up by 2 now. They've used a half-court trap to start the second half. It's been very effective. Here's Thomas powering it up. And the Patriots take a 4-point lead. Will Thomas with 6 points. Carolina is rattled with this trap.
Well, again, it's forcing them to scramble because George Mason extending. And David Noel obviously finds an open shot. That'll do a lot to loosen up the defense that's really collapsed around Tyler Hansbrough. He's shooting 4 of 11 from the field so far.
The winner here will move on to take on Wichita State, who knocked off Tennessee. Campbell. Oh!
Good.
The Patriots
with the dunk.
With 8 points from Campbell. 3-point lead. Noel, 14 points, 11 in the first half. Now Green posting up, tough shot is pure.
Mentioned before, Carolina, those freshmen, no babies any longer. Against Murray State, the last 29 points were scored by 4 freshmen, and Danny Green picking up pretty much where he left off on Friday.
Norwood turns the corner. Lewis, quick step to the bucket. Nicely done.
George Mason doing a nice job of sealing off the Carolina defender up top, and the passer dropping it down on the baseline where there's no help. Both Lewis just then and Thomas 2 possessions ago able to beat their man on the baseline.
Noel again for 3, and he is getting warm. He's the senior leader on this squad. Ties the game at 38. He has 17 points. David Noel, local kid from Durham.
Carolina now in kind of a 1-3-1 half-court trap.
Inside, nice. Thomas. And Will Thomas with 8 points. Campbell has 8. Thomas with 4 at the break. Campbell with only 2. Wes Miller gets his own rebound. In the corner, Noel. Batted around Norwood with the rebound. Campbell, he's got Butler, jump stop. And he won't get the bounce. And a foul inside called against North Carolina. Now tonight, on 60 Minutes, most American cities rely on the feds for protection from terrorism. Not New York. What's happening instead on 60 Minutes this evening? Tyler Hansbrough checks out of the game. Rayshon Terry back in for Carolina. Hansbrough now with 3 fouls at the 13:08 mark of the second half.
And a critical time for both teams. George Mason recognizing that, defensively they can really clamp down on Carolina. Carolina has to understand that when Hansbrough's out of the game, they cannot settle merely for jump shots.
Ball knocked away, picked up Ginyard, and he has it stolen away by Thomas. Skip pass, Butler lets it fly. 43-38.
Turnovers are killing Carolina.
Fraser the other way, no. Hernandez pulls it down. Carolina's turned it over 11 times. Only 4 at halftime.
You give credit to the extended defense of George Mason.
Now Thomas. Hernandez, quick step to the bucket. Here comes Fraser, the freshman from Chicago. Brother Rice High School. Ginyard, 15-footer. Ginyard with the rebound. Terry can't hold on. Outlet Skin. And he'll hold it up.
Good decision. Tony Skin recognized he didn't have numbers. Pulled it back.
George Mason, and look at the difference in their shooting between halves, shooting 82% in the second half. Hernandez got hit in the eye. 11:51 to play second half. Mason up 43-38.
To the true fan, the whole year comes down to just one weekend. The 2006 NCAA Men's Final Four. In the biggest ticket giveaway in NCAA history, only Pontiac is sending 100 fans to see it live. You have until Monday, March 20th to get to your Pontiac dealer. Get your ID number, log it in at ncaasports.com/Pontiac, and see if these seats will be yours when the Final Four comes down to just one. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
Pure Dell. It's an uncomplicated approach to unbridled growth. From Unix migration to server consolidation, you can expand seamlessly for a faster return on your IT dollar. And it all runs on Dell PowerEdge servers, featuring the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors. So your enterprise doesn't simply survive, it thrives. That's the direct path to success. That's pure Dell.
From buying a home is more than the number of bedrooms and bathrooms.
Can't imagine making a purchase like that without having someone you can trust.
Somebody with integrity protecting you.
Ethics are crucial.
Honesty and dependability.
I can't call myself a realtor unless I complete ethics training.
Realtors adhere to a strict code of ethics, so you know you'll be treated honestly. Ask if your agent is a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
They live and work by a code of ethics, and that was really important to me.
Since you haven't had an accident for over 3 years, I got you a great discount. Okay. And I even got you a discount for having your airbags.
Booyah!
And because you have your renter's insurance with us, you save even more. Now you're covered, so to speak.
Oh, baby, Yankee! Buy me. Oh! We good.
Join our 40 million fans as State Farm salutes NCAA March Madness. Call an agent today.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet Specials, fly to 61 destinations for just $49 to $159.
7:51 to play in the second half. George Mason with a 43-38 lead. George Mason and 11. North Carolina a 3. Hernandez on the bench now. Ice on his neck. And he's had an awesome game. 5 points, 5 rebounds. Off the bench. Butler. Campbell. Skin. Fleming. And Lewis. Lewis wants it inside. And he traveled. Good call.
A good ball movement by George Mason against the Carolina zone. Got it where they wanted to. But give Carolina credit quickly surrounding Jai Lewis.
So Quentin Thomas brings it up the floor with Ginyard. Terry, Noel, and Sanders.
George Mason back in their 2-3 zone. Carolina a little bit tentative as they take a look.
Will Thomas comes back in, replaces Will Fleming. Hernandez will be back. He took a good shot to the nose. Hernandez make that Noel driving. 43-40, Mason with the lead. 11:04 to play in the second half. David Noel carrying North Carolina with 19 points.
And he has to. Tyler Hansbrough on the bench with 3 fouls. Carolina's got to find somebody that's going to carry them offensively. Rayshon Terry really not effective on the offensive end.
Lewis blocked by Byron Sanders. Carolina led by as many as 14 in the first half, down by 3. Thomas, the kick, Noel again. Sanders kept it alive and tracks it down.
And again, it's the weak side rebounding against the zone that's been effective for Carolina.
And Ginyard buries one. Marcus Ginyard scored over 1,600 points. Was Mr. Basketball in the state of Virginia last year. He's from Alexandria. Cuts the George Mason lead to 1. Lewis again. Reverse layup blocked by Sanders, but he picks it up and puts it down.
And that's where Jai Lewis is more effective. When he gets double and triple, he's got to really start looking to move the ball and then position himself for the offensive rebound.
And he comes up with a steal. Campbell straight to the bucket, and he's fouled. Hard foul by Rayshon Terry. And it'll make Campbell earn it at the free throw line. All right, let's take a look at the game summary by half.
Well, George Mason just shooting lights out in the second half. A lot of those layups off of Carolina turnovers, and you look, 8 turnovers in the second half. And I mentioned before, that's what's killing Carolina. George Mason able to convert at a high level. And again, to compound the problem, if you're Carolina, obviously Tyler Hansbrough on the bench is about to come back in the game, but he's got 3 fouls.
Campbell gets the first. Go inside the secret world of Special Forces soldiers working undercover around the world. The Unit, TV's #1 new drama, Tuesday after NCIS right here on CBS. Talking about turnovers, Lenny, North Carolina on the season averaging close to 17 per game.
And I've been able to watch Carolina covering their games throughout the season, and that's really been the biggest problem, holding on to the ball, valuing the ball. But once he's there, Tyler Hansbrough in the middle, you got to find him.
George Mason at 11 with third-seeded North Carolina on the ropes. Lewis inside, no. Rebounded by Hansbrough. And North Carolina led by as many as 14 in the first half. Thomas to the basket, and he's fouled. But George Mason, under Coach Jim Larrañaga, has somehow managed to find their rhythm, use their defense to get back in this game, and also take the lead. The winner of this game will take on Wichita State, who upset Tennessee. 9:15 to play, second half. 47-44 Mason.
Somewhere in the world, right this minute, your soulmate is out there.
Mike and I were both on another site,
and we
never met.
found each other.
We lived 5 miles apart, and we wouldn't have ever known the other existed.
It's as if we knew each other our whole lives, but yet we grew up on 2 different sides of the planet.
find that one person that is going to see you, accept you, and love you passionately for who you really are.
Through eHarmony, we've found our soulmates.
Get your compatibility profile. A $50 value free.
Dayton, Ohio, this is the Washington, D.C. bracket, where a number 11 is leading a number 3, 47-44 Mason.
Well, George Mason has really been able to extend their defense in the second half, create 8 turnovers, and obviously Tyler Hansbrough, only 2 points in the second half, saddled by 3 fouls. Mason's made it very difficult for Carolina to get the ball into him when he's been on the floor in this second half.
Mason on a 27-17 on dating back to the first half.
Look at the triangle surrounding Hansbrough when he received, and that's what he's got to do, kick back out. That's inside out.
Terry missing. Ball snatched out of the air by Will Thomas. Thomas has been great. 8 points today, 4 rebounds. Had 18 points and 14 rebounds in their first round win over Michigan State. His 4th double-double of the season. Norwood lost it. Gets it back. 10 to shoot for the Patriots. High pick and roll. Norwood in the corner. Skin. Off the heel. And he kept it alive.
You like George Mason's patience against the man-to-man. You're looking for that high screen, which opens up a lot of opportunities.
Skin wanting to kick it, but he lost the handle. 5 to shoot. Pull-up jump shot. Campbell blocked by Terry. Now Terry getting to the basket and a blocking foul. He'll go to the line. 7:47 to play, second half. North Carolina heading to the free throw line, down 47-44.
Check it out. I got the NCAA March Madness, baby.
You don't have March Madness.
What? Look at me.
Can you follow your favorite teams with just 2 clicks of a button?
No.
Is your bracket with you at all times and constantly updated?
Oh.
Then you don't have March Madness. You have March Sadness.
Well, check this out.
Singular MediaNet. Latest scores, breaking news, bracket challenge. If you've got Singular, you can personalize your phone for college hoops.
You want to see what else I painted?
No.
Singular, raising the bar.
To the true fan, the whole year comes down to just one weekend. The 2006 NCAA Men's Final Four. In the biggest ticket giveaway in NCAA history, only Pontiac is sending 100 fans to see it live. You have until Monday, March 20th to get to your Pontiac dealer. Get your ID number, log it in at ncaasports.com/Pontiac, and see if these seats will be yours when the Final Four comes down to just one. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
More people spend time planning for vacation than planning for retirement. Get ready to live the life you've been planning with The Hartford. Because you're not preparing to retire, you're preparing to live. To live your future the way you've always seen it. So see your advisor about the latest products and solutions from The Hartford. And prepare to live.
They're coming! 2.5 million people who want great taste from their light beer. And they are angry. Check that. They actually look kind of happy. Huh. A taste revolution is brewing.
Introducing the brand new 99-cent Buffalo Snacker from KFC. 100% chicken breast smothered with authentic buffalo sauce and crispy lettuce on a sesame seed bun. And like the original KFC Snacker, it's only 99 cents. Heat things up for under $1 at KFC.
TV's Best Action is on CBS Tuesday. First, 2 agents ambushed and trapped. NCIS. Then, they fight for freedom in secret.
Going to Indonesia.
But their families pay the price.
You got shot for nothing!
Dennis Haysbert stars in The Unit. TV's Best Action is on CBS Tuesday.
Over 140 million viewers make CBS the place for the best drama, comedy, news, sports, and reality. CBS, America's most watched network.
7:47 to play in the second half. Let's reset it for you. Mason with the 47-44 lead. Each team with timeouts and neither team in serious foul trouble. Les Johnson, Len Elmore, as Rayshon Terry goes to the line. And he will shoot two.
I mentioned Rayshon Terry, the most athletic and probably most skilled player on this team. Really important. Carolina's 19-5 when he scores in double figures.
Gets the first. Tuesday on The Amazing Race, get behind the wheel with the teams as they speed around a world-famous test track. Tuesday on CBS, America's #1 network. Terry, 6 points, 10 rebounds. Make it 7. 1-point game.
And the thing that makes Terry so valuable, obviously, from an offensive standpoint, he becomes that reliable second or third scorer that Carolina needs behind Hansbrough and many times David Noel.
Butler on the baseline, picked it up. Skip past Norwood. 6 to shoot. Campbell straight away.
Three-point basket following Campbell.
(50-46) Mason as we approach the 7-minute mark. And 11 leading a 3. The winner advances to the Sweet 16 in the nation's capital. Hansbrough, Miller for 3, and he answers.
Three-point basket, Wes Miller.
Wes Miller, 2 threes in this game. He's 2 of 7. All of his shots coming from downtown, and he cuts the Mason lead to 1.
And here's Carolina extending their defense, looking to double team. Again, you use the aggressiveness of the defense against it with cuts and back doors. Mason gets a cut, but they travel.
Jim Larinaga, longtime coach at George Mason prior to joining this team. He was at Bowling Green for 10 years. A really positive man. Before the game, he told his team that they think they're Supermen and we are kryptonite. Terry turnarounds in the lane and a foul. Now Rayshon Terry starting to go to work.
And well, he should. At 6'8", playing on the perimeter, he's got the height advantage. And right there, you see Fowler and Campbell, who goes at 6'4", and Terry recognizes the mismatch, gets deep inside, a couple of ball fakes, gets Campbell off his feet, and draws the contact.
Rayshon Terry at the line for the Tar
But if
Heels.
Tyler Hansbrough is not an option because Mason has taken him away, Rayshon Terry must be an option.
Terry gets the first. Ties the game up at 50. The junior from Winston-Salem for the lead, and Carolina up by a penny. .6:03 to go in the second half, and we've got a heavyweight showdown here. George Mason and North Carolina, a 3 versus an 11. Mason trailed by as many as 14 in the first half, settled down, took the lead, and Carolina back on top now by 1.
But in this half, it began with extended defense by George Mason, creating turnovers. Carolina, 5 turnovers in their first 5 possessions. Butler. But Carolina battled back, but obviously George Mason not going anywhere. This is a quality team on the defensive end, among the top 10 in a couple of defensive categories in the nation, and just solid overall, and a team with an awful lot of moxie.
Fraser, the freshman. Noel, he's been the senior leader for this team. Terry can't get it to go, and the rebound goes to the Patriots, Will Thomas. 53-51. George Mason advancing to the second round by defeating Michigan State. They shot 60% in that game. Out-rebounded the Spartans 40-24. Now Lewis draws a triple team. Somebody's open.
Got to make that extra pass if you're Butler to Campbell to swing the ball to open shooters.
Lewis spinning, and he's fouled. The winner here will take on Wichita State, who defeated Tennessee. A 7 upsetting a 2. Right here we have an 11 trying to upset a 3. Tyler Hansbrough, the talented freshman from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, picks up his 4th foul. And that will send Jai Lewis to the line. First team All-CAA to shoot free throws. First one good. Tomorrow on CSI Miami, an agent puts everyone's lives at risk in a new episode of the mega hit drama. Tomorrow on CBS, America's #1 network.
Well, we talk about the success that Missouri Valley Conference teams have had. I think that term mid-major is going to get put to bed after this tournament.
Second free throw, no. The committee looks really smart now, giving George Mason an at-large bid. A lot of criticism given to the committee this season by some of our guys at CBS.
Hey, the bottom line is, and I mentioned it throughout this tournament, there are no bad teams out here. You know, you can look at reputation, but the proof is in the pudding between the lines. And Missouri Valley teams have acquitted themselves well. Actually, a number of teams, obviously George Mason from the Colonial Athletic Association.
Miller, a deep 3, no. And the rebound goes to Will Thomas.
Boy, what a good defensive sequence for George Mason, extending, not allowing the ball to go inside by pressuring the ball and forcing that desperation shot before the shot clock ran out.
3:52 to go. Mason by 3. Looking for their second NCAA tournament win in the history of the school. Inside Lewis, off the heel. Noel clears it. Noel tripped in the backcourt, no call. Now Fraser looking for the freshman Hansbrough. Tyler picks it up inside. Carolina throws it away.
Well, what an excellent job again by George Mason. As soon as Hansbrough was doubled, he turned and faced, and every green shirt on the floor ran to the paint to try to deflect. And deflect they
from
did.
deep. And Fraser tracks it down. Here come the Tar Heels. Green in the corner, Noel, and we're tied at 54. Noel, 22 points. 3 minutes to play in the second half. North Carolina, George Mason knuckling up here in Dayton.
This is Gary Poole, married for 10 years but didn't know it until he had fresh brewed premium roast coffee and a McGriddles. It was like he was seeing his wife for the very first time.
It's like we're newlyweds all over again.
Wake up and smell your life.
Class of '94, here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
3 minutes to play here in the second half. Jim Laranaga's team in this ball game after trailing big early. And it reminds me of something Dean Smith once said. Coach Smith said he could never beat Jack Nicklaus in 18 rounds of golf. But on one day, one moment, he may be able to beat him on one hole. Right now, George Mason is trying to win the 18th. Inside, no. And a foul coming up against the Tar Heels. 2:52 to play. 54-54. Back to Dayton after this.
Imagine seeing a network that connects us all. SBC and AT&T have joined forces to create the most complete and secure network on Earth, so you can create a world unlike any other. Yours. Introducing the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Just sit right back and grab some tails, the tails of some tasty shrimp. Sensations now at Applebee's are really worth the trip. Sauteed, crisp fried, fire grilled, served on a handy skewer. So many shrimp you'll want to plan a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. So join us here this week, my friend. It's time for eating good. Shrimp sensations new at Applebee's in your neighborhood.
Is less than 50. Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink. Ten is less than 50. Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.
Wednesday, a jury found him innocent.
He displays a poetic sense of right and wrong.
A vigilante sentenced him to death.
These are executions.
New Criminal Minds. Then, for one night only, the Beatles.
They're flesh eaters. No wallet, no ID.
No face.
New CSI New York, CBS Wednesday.
Maybe.
Yes, sir!
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Connecticut 58, Kentucky 51 with 11:14 to go.
2:52 to play in the second half. George Mason and North Carolina tied at 54 apiece, and 11 versus a 3 as you take a look at the game reset. Each team with a couple of timeouts left as Butler heads to the line to shoot free throws. North Carolina led this game at halftime, 27-20. But George Mason has staged a furious rally. Both free throws good for Butler. Mason with a 56-54 lead. The winner to advance to Washington to take on Wichita State. Inside, Hansbrough.
Yeah, Carolina having a lot of trouble getting it to Tyler Hansbrough. Maybe they're afraid he's going to charge and ultimately be out of the game. He's got 4 fouls. It's been David Noel that has pretty much willed Carolina to this point, only down 2.
Frazier, 8 to shoot. Now Terry, 5 to shoot. From deep, short. Butler with the rebound. As the Patriots take a look up at the clock. Up by 2, approaching the 2-minute mark.
Well, that last shot by Terry, he had time to put it on the floor with his size and quickness. Got to put pressure on the defense and not bail him out.
Now Butler to Lewis. He's their best player. Facing up, big fella, rolling off the side rim. No, Lewis gets the rebound, and he's fouled. Jai Lewis will go to the line. David Noel called for the foul.
And that's what I mean by putting pressure on the defense. Whereas Rayshon Terry settled for the jump shot, Jai Lewis turned, faced, and went to the basket. Missed the first shot, but gave his team a chance to scramble and ultimately come up with the offensive rebound.
George Mason has a team 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Lewis is 68% shooter.
And Roy Williams really wants his team to continue to push the ball up the floor. Wants to try to beat George Mason back, stay away from that extended defensive trap situation.
Both free throws off the mark, ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Patriots. Noel, the catalyst for North Carolina today, 22 points. He's a senior. but somebody has to step up and hit a big basket. They've taken Hansbrough away. Terry dips, fires off the glass. No. Jai Lewis with the rebound. His 8th.
Well, Rayshon Terry's getting the opportunities. He's just not making the most of them. Again, gets himself in the paint. A lot better job at attacking. And George Mason just milking the clock right now. They're going to maximize every possession. Use the clock down to the mark.
58-54. 16 points for Butler. Wes Miller in the corner. Noel. Campbell with the rebound. With under a minute to play. George Mason, they want to take this thing back to D.C. They upset Michigan State. Carolina's on the ropes.
Well, Lamar Butler again, instead of settling for the jumper, puts pressure on the defense, and he can see the finish line.
58-54.
Fowler and Campbell at the line for George Mason shooting.
As Fowler and Campbell goes to the free throw line. He's a 73% shooter on the year.
Gus, very important. Carolina averages 80 points a game, and look what George Mason has been able to do. Limit them to 54 points. People wonder how they got here. Well, they got here because, again, they're one of the best defensive teams in the nation. Roy Williams obviously concerned.
The winner of this game takes on Wichita State. Second free throw for Campbell is good. The Patriots are feeling it right now. Here's Bobby Fraser into the front court. Hansbrough kicks out Terry, lets it go. An air ball tracked down by Fraser, who got the timeout right in front of us. Great decision by a freshman point guard. 60-54, back after this.
More people spend time planning for vacation than planning for retirement. Get ready to live the life you've been planning with The Hartford. Because you're not preparing to retire, you're preparing to live. To live your future the way you've always seen it. So see your advisor about the latest products and solutions from The Hartford. And prepare to live.
George Mason in the first half trailed 16-2, but they settled down, and now with 42.7 seconds left, up 60-54, and they are less than a minute away from advancing to the Sweet 16 and playing basically in their backyard in Washington, D.C.
Well, like we both have said, who would have thunk it at the beginning of the game? But George Mason settled down, played some particularly smart offense, and then beginning the second half, really applied the pressure. Carolina wilted, turned the ball over in their first 5 possessions.
Wes Miller got it!
Wes Miller.
Carolina not done yet. 34.1 to go. We've got a 3-point game in Dayton.
It's Taco Bell's Chicken Caesar Grilled Stuffed Burrito. Stuffed with marinated all-white meat chicken, crisp romaine lettuce, tortilla strips, and covered in Caesar dressing. All wrapped up and grilled to go. For the Chicken Caesar Salad Lovers Burrito, think outside the bun.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet Specials, fly to 61 destinations for just $49 to $159.
This is what it's like when you're looking for a car on Autotrader.com. It's like being able to see almost 3 million cars. A lot more than you'll find anywhere else. That's why Autotrader.com is the ultimate automotive marketplace. Find the car that's right for you at Autotrader.com, the smarter place to buy and sell a car.
Mason up by 3 and 11, trying to knock off a 3. And the game reset. North Carolina out of timeouts. What do you do now if You're Roy Williams in North Carolina.
Well, immediately you set up a defense that at least tries for one steal before you wind up fouling. And if I'm George Mason, I'm Jim Larinaga, I'm putting my best free throw shooters and best ball handlers out on the floor. It's not so much that I score field goals. The shot clock is off. George Mason can hold it for the remainder of the game, but you know they're going to get fouled. So you put your best free throw shooters out. Look at this.
Lewis in the front court. And it's rejected.
Wow. Wow. David Noel didn't give up on it.
And Noel is hurt. Noel, the senior.
Long pass, nobody playing center field, and the hustle by David Noel exemplifies senior urgency. Look at the long pass, no foul. Excellent block, excellent hustle by David Noel. He doesn't want this to end. Not now.
Fourth block. Carolina needs the foul, and they do. So Butler will go to the line. He's a 72% free throw shooter.
22, Wes Miller, his second.
As Wes Miller picks up his second. So Butler shooting 1 and 1.
George Mason shooting the 1 and 1.
Where he is 2 of 2 at the stripe today.
Quite honestly, I was surprised that Will Thomas was out there, 51% from the free throw line. Carolina never fouled him. He was the first guy to catch the inbound.
George Mason up 61-57. One more coming for the senior from Oxon Hill, Maryland. He gets it. 62-57. Frazier in the front court. Takes a three. Got it again! Carolina down by 2. No timeouts for North Carolina. Frazier guards the ball. Skin looking, and he calls a timeout.
George Mason.
The freshman from Brother Rice High School in Chicago cuts it to 2. Back to Dayton after this.
Big bucking chicken. You are big. You are chicken.
Take a ride on the new BK Tender Crisp Cheesy Bacon. The only way to beat it is to eat it. Bucking chicken.
Mason with 1 timeout left. Carolina out of timeouts. 2-point game.
Well, on that last bucket, George Mason had a chance to inbound the ball. Will Thomas took off long. Tony Skinn wanted to throw it to him, but he was standing under the basket. After a make, you've got to clear the basket so you can make long passes. Skinn standing under the basket, unable to throw it long to an open Will Thomas.
So Norwood, the inbounder, the worst free throw shooter on the floor right now. Hansbrough guards the ball. Tony Skinn, their best free throw shooter, over 80%. Butler holds on to Lewis. They've got a foul.
What's going on?
Skinn.
What are they waiting for?
And they'll send Skinn to the line with 13 to go.
North Carolina foul number 22, Wes Miller, his third, team's 10th.
So Tony Skinn has a chance to ice this game. An 81% free throw shooter. He was suspended for their first-round game against Michigan State for punching a player during the CAA tournament, a Hofstra player, trying to make this a 2-possession game. What a moment for this senior. One more coming with 13 seconds to go.
And that actually was the most important one. Obviously, in one-on-one, you want to at least give Carolina just a chance to tie and not to win.
Second one is good.
Didn't even touch iron.
Carolina down by 4. Frazier lost it. How about this? George Mason. 6.9 to go. And they're partying in Fairfax. 64-60. Patriots heading to the line. Tony Skinn shooting 2.
tell you, George Mason was here for a reason. One of the top defensive teams in the nation. An awful lot of heart.
65-60. 4 seconds. Frazier a three. No. Hansbrough with the rebound. There's a new Cinderella. Her name is George. 65-60. Mason defeats North Carolina, and 11 bumps off not only a three, but the defending national champs. Coach Jim Larrañaga, what a win, and Mason will head to Washington, D.C., right in their backyard, and prepare to take on the Shockers from Wichita State. Our Chevrolet players of the game, Lamar Butler, 18 points, and some clutch free throws down the stretch. Noel, also a great game, his final game for North Carolina, 65-60, the final, kryptonite working. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Gus, thank you. Congratulations to George Mason and to Carolina. A young Carolina team falls by 5, 65-60. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, Kentucky and UConn, the Huskies lead at 72-67. Jim Nantz and Billy Packer.
Kentucky putting up a big fight in the second half. They've got a break opportunity. Sparks dishes to the treble. Spins out on Morris. Spins out, but he'll go to the line for a pair as Kentucky continues to crawl back.
That was a tough decision for Sparks, who's played a brilliant game today. I think Morris, in fairness to Morris, Jim, I wasn't sure that he felt he was going to get that pass, but he's got to finish that off with a dunk.
2 shots at the line. Kentucky just brilliant so far as a team. 13 of 14. 14 of 15 make it now with Armstrong and Anderson coming back in for the Huskies.
Now, Sparks this year has had some great games. He's had 3 20-point games against good teams, but I have never seen him play a game like he's played today in regard to all aspects. Defense, leading the team, his shooting, his scoring, his aggressiveness. He's having some game for a senior, not wanting to play that last one.
So 2 big ones by Morris, and we've got a 1-possession game here.
And I'll tell you, Rondo Williams, now this is about as good a defensive matchup as you can have against the great point guard from Connecticut.
Gay, no go, and Rondo pulls it down. Pitches it back to Sparks, who takes off, puts it up, no call, and out of bounds on Connecticut.
Now Sparks had made a pass the last time, but he was destined to take that one all the way, hoping to get fouled.
His Kentucky team down a dozen at halftime, as many as 13 in the second half. Led for a total of only 17 seconds early in the game, but they are fighting back.
Jim, does this remind you of the Kentucky team that had Duke here
in Philadelphia, just a few hundred yards away at the old Spectrum? This could tie it. Sparks, and the ball tipped around off Kentucky. Well, I'll tell you,
same
Kentucky,
kind of team as far as toughness and fighting back.
No question.
Not willing to give up.
The unforgettables.
That's right.
But Kentucky trying to exorcise some unpleasant memories here in the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, they don't want to have to bring back Christian Laettner.
And then they came back in 2001 thinking they'd get a rematch game in a regional final with Duke, but lost to USC in the Sweet 16, did Kentucky. Quick shot, Anderson. He was hitting those in the first half, made 4 from outside the arc.
Oh, Rondo, what are you thinking about?
Off the hands of Morris.
3-point game. Morris, who's been running, has got to be tired with all the banging he's done. I don't know if that was a good idea on that play. Too important a possession.
Denham Brown back in for Connecticut, in for Anderson. UConn was hitting the threes in the first half. I said UConn. It was Rashad Anderson. But now as a team, the Huskies have failed on the last 7 tries out there.
Rondo has taken away some of the penetration by Williams. Let's see if he can continue. Nice screen. Beautiful pass.
Underneath, couple pump fakes. Brown knows what he's doing with it.
Brown, what Williams did there was a good head fake. He looked one way and threw inside. He's always under such control.
So Kentucky actually had 2 possessions with the lead at 3, but failed to do anything with it.
Yeah, Rondos should not have taken the chance with that long throw.
Morris driving and kicking it back out. With 10 on the shot clock. Perry, who had the hot hand on Friday.
Looking for the screen.
Rondo better do something with it in a hurry. He knows. Puts it up. 3. His first points of the second half. We got a 2-point game.
And Jim, that is not what the shot that he's looking for. He's a 26% three-point shooter.
And a turnover through the fingertips of Denham Brown. The wildest, wackiest road to the Final Four maybe ever. And Kentucky has cut it to 2 with 3 minutes to go.
Imagine seeing a network that connects us all. SBC and AT&T have joined forces to create the most complete and secure network on Earth, so you can create a world unlike any other. Yours. Introducing the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Just sit right back and grab some tails, the tails of some tasty shrimp. Sensations now at Applebee's are really worth the trip. Sauteed, crisp fried, by a grill, served on a handy skewer. So many shrimp you'll want to plan a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. So join us here this week, my friend. It's time for eating good. Shrimp sensations new at Applebee's in your neighborhood.
Ten is less than 50. Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.